Welcome back, folks, for a new tank review, and today we'll cover the new Tier 8 premium British medium tank, the FV4202P, basically the historically accurate FV4202. Now, this vehicle has been on the Super Test server for about a year plus, so I covered it a long time ago with leak videos, and my initial impressions about this tank have not been changed. So this tank is slow, has no armor, and the 20 pounder is mediocre. It's okay, but it's not that great. So yeah, a lot of players have been saying that this tank might be the worst tier 8 premium vehicle. I doubt it, but it's not exceptional, so it's not that great. So it's okay, but let's take a look at the stats. So 1400 hit points. That's pretty chunky for a tier 8 medium tank. So decent. Weighs about 42 tons. Okay. Has a 510 horsepower engine. So basically the horsepower per ton ratio is only 12.13, as you can see right there. That's like a heavy tank's horsepower per ton ratio. Now it is counterbalanced by amazing terrain resistance, but the top speed is only 35 kilometers per hour. So you're not getting anywhere fast, and it takes a long time to shift based on the horsepower per ton ratio. So it's basically playing Action X Centurion with a damaged engine. So only 35 kilometers per hour. Come on. Okay, this tank is slow, as expected. Armor wise, 50 millimeters on the hull at the front. It's well sloped, but remember, a lot of vehicles are taller than you, so they're shooting up to down. So basically negating the sloping of the armor. 50 millimeters is not that much. So high explosive wrecks this vehicle. Artillery shell wrecks this vehicle. Ugh. Turret is decent, and I put quotes on it because it's only decent on the turret ring. The turret ring is 200 millimeters, so it will bounce a lot of shots. The gun encasement cheeks are pretty good, 170-ish, but the cheeks of the turret and the top of the turret is rather weak. So a shell with 170-ish millimeters of penetration will go through if you're not hull down. So the turret is okay. Ugh. And you do not have a matlet, so if you do get penetrated on the turret, it might damage your gun. So, blah. Armor is okay. You have side skirts on the sides to protect the side armor, and side scraping is okay, but use it as an emergency source of protection, so do not rely on it. And the rear armor is 31. So this vehicle has no armor, has no speed. Artillery shell wrecks it pretty hard. Alright, the view range is okay, pretty good. 390 meters. Radio is standard. So let's take a look at the gun. It's a 20 pounder Type B barrel. So the same gun that's on the Carnarvon. It's a little bit better. Should be a little bit better because it's Type B barrel than the Type A barrel that's on the Centurion Mark 1. But as you can see with the stats, has poor accuracy and aim time and weighs a little bit more. So it's supposed to be a little bit better than a Type A barrel, but it's not. What the frick? Why? Why does it have poor accuracy and aim time? So yeah, DPM is the same as the Centurion Mark 1. Same penetration, same alpha. So the penetration is pretty good for a tier 8 medium tank. The alpha is average. Accuracy, disappointing. Aim time is long. 2.6 seconds is killer for this vehicle with this gun. So when I played this vehicle, 2.6 seconds aim time is basically playing with 122. So it takes a long time to snapshot, and shooting on the move is not that great. So you're not supposed to, but so overall, this vehicle has no armor, mostly. Crappy mobility, mostly. And the gun is mediocre. Might be the worst tier 8 premium tank, but I do not have every premium tier 8, so I do not know if that's a valid saying, I guess, but it's not exceptional. It's really not. Compared to the Centurion Mark 1, the Centurion Mark 1 has amazing accuracy, in my opinion, fast aim time, amazing penetration. The turret is pretty bouncy, the hull armor is crap, but whatever, just go hull down. And the horsepower per ton ratio, coupled with the mobility of this vehicle, the terrain resistance is not that bad, so this tank could go everywhere at 40 kilometers per hour top speed. Whereas for the FV4202P, it's only 35. And you do not rev up that fast, so it's alright. But I have collected a few gameplays of this vehicle, so here they are. Alright, we're at Cliff with the FV4202P. So decent enough map for this vehicle because the hills and some bush for cover. But this vehicle is not that fast to take advantage of initial spots right here, or fast enough to cover the plateau and just drive into this position. So when you're playing with this vehicle, it's mostly going to be a tank destroyer base of gameplay. So you camp in the back next to tank destroyers. And only move up if you're needed, but yep, this vehicle cruises at 35 kilometers per hour everywhere. So as you can see, we're basically the same speed as a heavy tank. If you can add 200 more horsepower to the engine, that would be great, but nope, this tank is not that fast. Cruises at 35 and goes slowly up a hill because the horsepower per ton ratio. So I mean, the tier is basically a tank destroyer, but it's a lot faster, so this is not a tier. Right now we see a RU-251 going up this hill, so I'm planning on shooting him, but he's not that bold. Crossed. So across the middle, is he planning? Yes, he is. Or is he crossing? Is he crossing? Oh, come on. Well, extreme angles, fine, whatever. Is he going to be so bold to cross again? Yes, he is. Above average alpha. Pretty good. Okay. We're spotted, but we are behind cover, so artillery safe. This vehicle could not take an artillery hit because of the lack of armor. It's basically like playing with a French vehicle without the mobility. Ugh. Waiting. So take notice of the aim circle and the time it needs to fully aim. Basically meaning that aim circle spread is larger than the average. Snipe the Panther 88. He's looking at us. Okay. RU-251. A little bit bold. Did not get punished. Still bold. Still bold. As you can see, 0.35 accuracy. Oh. That shell was slower than the average. Was that heat? Feels like a heat shell. Or appeared to be a heat shell. Crappy shot on my part. Alright. The IS looks like he has 85 value. Okay. Doesn't have the muzzle brake of the 122. Alright, be patient. So right now, I take notice of my teammates pushing up right here. So I decided, yeah, let's move up. And shoot the IS and the AMX 5120. Target acquired. Target one shot. That's where the IS was. So move up. Yep. There it was, the IS. And he's gone. 5120. behind cover. There he is. And he's out. Scorpion. Nope. So I'm still taking cover from artillery. And artillery love to shoot at vehicles without armor. I decided to go for the RU-251, and it's a good sniping position up here. So we see a Tiger 2, Scorpion.
Let's find another target.
Alright, we're spotted. AMX CDC, Tiger 2. Bounce a shot from an E75. Let's take a hit, or take a look at the hit. It's on the turret ring, so only the turret ring will bounce shots. The rest, nope. Tiger 2. Bounce another shot. Alright, so we're hull down. And if you go hull down with the top of the turret, it will bounce a few shots. Took my track with that one. So I repaired it. Get out the way. AMX CDC. Crappy shot on my end.
Let's find another target.
That was not a crappy shot, but the accuracy just 0.35. Alright, it's time to turn. Come on.
Target acquired.
The accuracy. Alright, E75 looking at me. Cannot hang around too long.
Permission to engage. Let's find another target.
Normally, with the Centurion Mark 1, you have 0.33 accuracy, and shots like those will likely hit.
We didn't even scratch them.
Got the turret on that one, not the side armor. So yeah, the accuracy is one big factor, and so is the aim time. So 2.6 seconds is just. You do have decent view range to spot, but it's not as good as Centurion Mark 1. It has only 390 meters of view range, whereas American and British tanks have about 400. So drive wheel. Nope. Why did I even take that shot? Ugh. Sam, you noob. Right. Look for the AMX CDC. Okay, Tiger left. Shoot him in the butt. Always stay safe from artillery. Oh, inside the turret. Nice hit. Okay, can still hit the turret if we can. Okay, a lot of prime examples of the accuracy screwing me over. Alright. Okay, decent enough hit, but AMX is a big target without armor, so. Right, T-29, Porsche Tiger.
Enemy armor is damaged.
It's funny that this vehicle has a P in it, so you can just call it the FV4202 without the P. The P makes it look like it's a Porsche design FV4202,
Let's find another target.
but it isn't. Right beside the turret, yes, that's where the ammo rack is, in the back of the turret. So shooting at stuff like the T-29, the M103, the T-110E5 in the back of the turret, that's where the ammo rack is. The T-110E5 has like a lot of ammo racks, and it's super easy to get ammo racked. Alright, so as you can see, the accuracy is not that good, and the vehicle is not that fast. Damage output is alright, but you have to hit, and the aim time is... What was that? Yeah. Where the hell did that get penetrated? It hits the box thing. You see that? The box thing on the side of the turret. It gets penetrated. What the frick? Okay. Fine, I guess. The turret's not that strong, but whatever. So, I want to have a top gun. Here comes artillery. To ruffle my Jimmy cakes. Oh, mobility! Save me! Press the fire button.
We're dead for. Everyone get out.
This thing has no armor though. Okay, on to the next one. Alright, another prime example of how to play the FV4202P. So we're on Malinovka, so camper's delight, but it's pretty good for this vehicle since you have to rely on sniping. This vehicle is not that fast to take advantage of key spotting positions like this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. So you can only get there slowly, but you can analyze who could be spotting you from those positions. So right now, what tells me that who could spot me is pretty much the Leopard 1 because he's fast, he can take advantage of those positions quickly, he has a lot of view range, and he has pretty good camouflage rating. Whereas the E50 is not that stealthy, not that fast to rev up, so I doubt it. And the FV4202P is slow. Same goes for the Centurion. So the only person on their team that could spot me based on skill and based on vehicle type is likely the Leopard 1. So as you can see, I'm spotted. I tell my team that somebody's at this position. So basically, likely the Leopard 1. So stay behind the hills from artillery. Alright, so my intuition tells me that the Leopard 1 is sitting at that bush spotting because there's no light tank in play, so it's likely the Leopard 1. Maybe the E50, but the E50 is not that fast, so I doubt it. And based on speed of the Centurion Mark 1 and the FV4202P, I doubt he reached there as well, so it's the Leopard 1. Or it could be the T10, but I doubt a T10 will spot in that position. And the T10 has 380 meters of view range, whereas this vehicle has 390, so it's not the T10. So you have to do simple logistics analysis if you can to understand who is in where. So I'm looking for the Leopard 1. I'm not shooting, so I place my reticle right here, move back from the bush, take a blind hit to see if I get spotted. I didn't, so that's good. So basically I'm using myself to see if the Leopard 1 is in that bush. Alright, there's no counter battery, blind shots. A lot of players will do that, I do that, but alright. So we're sitting here spotting the 263 left. Alright. And there's the Leopard 1. What I told you. Right, the Waffen trigger should shoot him. There's the Waffen. There we go. So we'll move up because the Leopard 1 will spot us and there are 3 artilleries. And artillery's hurt, so don't stay there. Move towards the hill.
Ready to fire.
Okay, got his to the side. That was a good shot. Barely hit. Or barely miss. English idioms. Word usage. Alright, so we're trying to spot, trying to shoot. We have a larvae, or lion, and a Roomba camping, sniping. So right now, the E50 is by himself on the hill. And we have 3 tanks swarming onto him, so my money's on my teammates. Right now, I'm worried about the Leopard 1. The Waffen trigger of E100 has been spotted. Same goes for the lion and the Roomba. The only vehicle that has not been spotted is right here somewhere. So basically, the Waffen trigger Panzer IV and the artillery. So I thought to myself, the hill's clear. Let's go for the Leopard 1. The 263 is moving up as well. So there's larvae, there's the Roomba. I'm moving as fast as I could to flank around the Leopard 1 using this hill as cover from the Waffen triggers. So the 263, go for it. Alright, he went for it. He missed. I put a shot into him. Alright, alright. Shot. T-54E1 damage my gun. Tracks. He's sniping from their base. He got my tracks again. So side skirts saved my life. Alright. Ooh, so he's coming from that position. Or somebody shooting at me from that position. Leave. Artillery. Oof. So there are vehicles down there. Likely the Waffenträger Panzer IV. And since our FV4202P moved up, it's likely their Waffenträger off E100 is somewhere around here. Behind the buildings. There he is. Okay. There's the Panzer IV Waffenträger. Accuracy. Alright, switch to high explosive. I should. Bounce. Why not? Alright, high explosive in the gun shield. There we go. The high explosive only do like 280 damage. Biff. High explosive. There we go. There's the T-54E1. Okay. There are 3 artilleries and nobody else left. Okay. I'm scared of the Waffenträger off E100 because he could just clip me and I'm dead. Switch back to AP for the larvae. Shooting on the move sucks. Get into position, get into cover. Ow, go chill. Okay, got him. Take behind. Take cover behind the rock. Try to shoot artillery if I can. There's the oh boy. Okay, cover. High explosive. Ready.
Critical hit.
Accuracy. Alright. Aim time. Long. Accuracy. Ugh. So high explosive into the gun shield. Gigantic barn size gun shield. Nice damage. So that's what you do with the FV4202P. You hide in the back and snipe. And when everybody's dead, you move up. Simple enough. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So go for artillery. Try to scope him out. There he is. Keep moving. Don't stop. Till you get enough. I don't get enough yet. Shooting lights. Okay. Spot all of them. There we go. Ew. So side skirts saved my life against the T-54E1, but he only has like 200 millimeters of penetration. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, you have to know who's spotting at you or who's counter sniping at you. But try to stay safe from artillery. That's the main goal. And there you go, folks. The FV4202P. It's not that fast. Only 35 kilometers per hour top speed. Only 12.13 horsepower per ton ratio. But you do have a tier 10's terrain resistance. So this tank will not react fast enough for a medium tank. It's basically a heavy tank, so this vehicle doesn't have armor. The only best armor part is the turret ring, but a lot of players will not shoot at the turret ring, right? So if you get hit on the turret cheeks, it gets penetrated. You saw the shot with the Porsche Tiger? What the frick? So do not expect to bounce a lot of shots with this vehicle. And the guns, not that accurate and not that fast to aim. So 2.6 seconds aim time with 0.35 accuracy is mediocre. So basically, this tank is not extraordinary. It's average, mediocre, meh. So is it worth the 8,700 gold or the 40-ish bucks that's currently on sale for this vehicle? Unless you really like the British tanks, then maybe, but this tank does not play like British medium tanks. It plays like a freaking Japanese medium tank. Japanese medium tanks are actually faster too. Or, that might be a good example, but yeah, maybe like Japanese medium tanks. But the best prime example of a good premium medium tank for the British is the Cromwell B. So this tank is okay. It's average. So on Cliff, we did some damage, 3,000 damage. Not that bad, but only a first mastery badge since it's a tier 7 or below vehicles. And this is tier 8, so getting shot by artillery, dead. So yeah, rough. It's alright. So you have to take care of hiding your vehicle's hull and go hull down. And this vehicle is not that fast, so hide behind cover from artilleries, from tank destroyers, from actually every other tank because of the lack of armor. You can bounce a few shots like the one from E75, but that was on the turret ring. You cannot bounce a shot from the Porsche Tiger on the turret cheeks. What the frick? So the turret is not that strong. Oh well. But you make some credits-ish, but from what I experienced, it's better to play a tier 8 premium heavy tank to make the credits. So credit-wise, not that much credit. It's alright, but not that much. So the second map on Malinovka, pretty decent because we're shooting at tier 10s. And we did spot the Leopard 1 and shot the Waffentrigger off E100 in the gun shield with high explosive. But as you can see, the accuracy of these two games were not that good. So the tank's gun is alright. It's a Type B barrel 20 pounder, but it has less accuracy or crappier accuracy and more aim time than Type A barrel on the Centurion Mark 1. So what the frick? But if you shoot high tiers and do a lot of damage, there's your mastery badge and 50,000 credits. But in my opinion, play a tier 8 heavy tank or play the Super Pershing, because Super Pershing costs less gold and doesn't have normal matchmaking and has a lot of armor. The gun's penetration is not that good though. Whatever. So this vehicle in general is at least it's free on North America. So props and kudos to the North American server for just giving us the tank without grinding. That's amazing. Sorry about EU server, sorry about the Russian servers, but you have to grind for it. So I'm sorry. But this tank, is it worth the money in the end? Unless you really like the British medium tanks. But if you already really like the British medium tanks like I do, you already have the Action X Centurion or the old FV4202, and you probably have the missions for getting the FV4202P already. So is it worth the grind? The grind's not that bad. Yeah, the grind's fine. Only 450,000 damage with 7,500 XP from the Action X Centurion. That's fine. In 2 weeks, that's fine. So this vehicle, don't buy it if you can, unless you really like the British medium tanks. But if you already do really like it, you should already have it. So you should not pay for this vehicle. That's what I'm trying to say. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Says all debaters 6 times knocking on the door. No response, but hey, you're ready. Back to back. Death comes arriving on a midnight train. Back to back. Conscience is screaming to the end. Back to back. Cannot let anyone do it again. Back to back. I can no longer pretend. Break you down. Just wanna get back my again.